A grasshopper does not just jump far, it jumps with control, with precision, with repeat power. If humans had that ability, movement would not be chaos, it would be dominance. Level 1 begins now. Level 1 is controlled jumping scaled to humans. You are no longer guessing your movement. You choose exactly where you land. You jump hundreds of feet and land exactly where you want. No panic, no randomness, just precision. At this level, movement becomes efficient. You can travel faster than cars in a straight line. You can reach places no one else can. Buildings are no longer obstacles, they are platforms. But this is still basic control. Level 2 adds repetition. Now you can jump again immediately after landing. No delay, no recovery time. You land, you launch again, and again, and again. Movement becomes continuous. You are no longer traveling, you are flowing through the environment. At this level, distance becomes meaningless. You can cross entire cities in seconds. But now something starts to change, because repetition builds force, which leads to level 3. Level 3 is power stacking. Every jump carries energy from the last. You launch, you land. You launch again with more force. Your movement builds momentum. You are not just jumping anymore, you are accelerating. Speed increases, force increases, impact increases. At this level, every landing becomes stronger, every takeoff becomes more explosive. Now, movement is not just fast, it is dangerous, but you still have control, which is what makes this worse. Level 4 is precision impact. Now you can choose how much force you use. You can land softly, or you can land with maximum impact. You decide. You can touch down silently or hit the ground like an explosion. This is where movement becomes a weapon. You do not need to punch. You do not need to lift. You just land, and the impact does everything. At this level, control becomes power. But power always escalates. Level 5 is environmental mastery. Now you are not reacting to the world, you are using it. Walls become launch points, buildings become pathways, surfaces become tools. You move through environments like they were designed for you. Nothing slows you down, nothing blocks you. You adapt instantly, and when something is in your way, you do not stop, you redirect. Movement becomes strategy, and strategy becomes dominance. But this is still limited by physics. Level 6 removes that limitation. Level 6 is extreme efficiency. Now, almost no energy is lost in movement. Every jump converts fully into motion. You do not waste power. You do not slow down. You maintain speed across distance. At this level, you can move continuously without losing momentum. You become impossible to track, impossible to predict, impossible to stop, because you are not just fast, you are consistent, and consistency breaks systems. But the final level breaks everything. Level 7 is maximum grasshopper output. This is where control, speed, and force combine perfectly. You choose where to go. You choose how fast to move. You choose how hard to land. Every movement is intentional. Every action is precise. You are no longer reacting. You are deciding outcomes before they happen. You land, the ground cracks exactly where you want. You launch, you arrive exactly where you planned. There is no randomness, no error, no hesitation. At this level, movement becomes absolute control. And control at this level is more dangerous than chaos, because chaos is unpredictable, but control is unstoppable. You cannot be blocked. You cannot be trapped. You cannot be outmaneuvered because you are always one move ahead. And all this comes from a simple creature, a grasshopper. But this is not the most dangerous form of movement, because the next level removes something even more important: reaction time. The next creature does not just move fast, it acts instantly, before thought, before reaction, before anything else. Grasshopper power gave you control, but the next level removes the delay between thought and action, and what happens at level 7 there makes this look slow.